Hey, how you doing? You're your very only Fat Harry White here, coming at you from the afternoon wireless, giving out love vibes to all my very sexy lady and man friends out there, if you know what I'm saying. Hey! I'm excited to be here, but a bit knackered. Been up since 4. Well, I've always been an early riser. Oh, aye, no problem getting up first thing, me. Anyway, I have been working as a man. Well, this morning, smelt bacon coming from my very sexy lady friend Foxy Fiona's residence. So, I pulled up in my float, fully laden with full-fat milk and yogurts. Well, I popped inside for a quick nibble, not afraid of offering a man a good spread, even at that hour, isn't Foxy Fiona? Anyway, that put me behind schedule, so I really put my foot down as I screamed off her drive in the float at the full 9 mile an hour. Well, it was too quick and I lost control, braked heavily and spilt my cargo. And then the whole neighborhood is peeping out from behind the curtains, watching me shooting me creamy load up Foxy Fiona's entry. Anyway, I've had a nice little camping holiday with Mark and Lard and my very sexy lady friend Moist Michelle. Actually, I say camping, some were in tents and some were put up in those little wooden houses, you know. Benders, they call them. Me and Fat Larry had the 2 benders on the left, and Mark and Lard, right couple of benders. Anyways up, I did a bit of fishing, but it wasn't up to much. All day, rod in hand, and just a little tiddler to show for it. Well, I was that disappointed. I got leathered on the cooking sherry with Moist Michelle. So I did the honorable thing and offered to walk her back to her tent. Well, I strolled back with my little fish still in my hand, got to Michelle's tent, and as I leant in for a good night peck, lost me balance and fell face first into the front of her tent. Oh, I pulled the zip right down and thrust my tiddler right between her flaps. Hey, I didn't know where to put myself. I didn't at all, no. Anyway, I have to say, it has been a fine time working on the biggest show, baby. And we went out for a farewell dinner the other night. Mind you, I made a fool of myself there too. First off, the little portion of butter that came with me soup and roll was frozen solid, much to everyone's amusement. Honestly, I was sat there for half an hour with everybody looking at me stiff knob. Thankfully, my very sexy lady friend Cuddly Chloe rubbed it in her hands and warmed it up a little bit. A bit too much, if you know what I'm saying. Next thing you know, there's a greasy puddle on the tabletop, which causes me lamb shank, sprouts and parsnips to fall on the floor. Well, quick as you like, Michelle and Chloe are under the table taking turns to gobble me meat and 2 veg, honestly. I went straight on to the dessert and had that fruit and meringue crushed up thing, conveniently called Eaten Mess, if you know where I'm going, and I think you probably do. Mind you, even then I embarrassed myself because I pulled the spoon out too swiftly and catapulted some of my pudding over Mr. Radcliffe's steak. The whole restaurant looked on open mouth as I pulled out and shot me mess over Radcliffe's rump. Anyway, it was a good night, and that's it. So farewell then, Mark and Lard. It was a fine, good-loving guess, and this is Fat Harry White, who
doesn't really exist, because it's just Mark Radcliffe with an effect on his voice,
saying, baby, and farewell forever to all my very sexy lady and man friends out there on this, the day when Mark and Lard were finally, after all these years, well and truly pulled off.